With the Omicron variant spreading like wildfire, you may be considering getting tested. But what type of test should you choose and how effective are they? KIMT News 3's Alex Jurgens is looking into both PCR and antigen tests, the two most common COVID-19 tests, and he joins us now live in Mason City with more on that. Alex.
Amy, I spoke with Mercy One's lab director here to clear up some confusion over the types of COVID-19 tests. And the two most common tests are the PCR, which is done through a saliva sample, and the antigen, or rapid test, where a swab is stuck up a nostril. With the spread of the Omicron variant, the FDA has warned that the antigen test is less sensitive to pick it up. Mercy One lab director Kathy Biggs says PCR is more likely to detect Omicron.
The PCR can take a very small, minute amount of virus particle and it will amplify it, thousands of times to get enough to detect a test as positive. Whereas an antigen test, there's no multiplication of that antigen particle. It's just what is in the nose at the time the sample was collected.
Biggs tells me that most PCR tests are about 98% sensitive. In comparison, an antigen test is roughly about 65% sensitive. And of course, keep in mind that with any lab test, there can be false positives and negatives, though Biggs notes that an antigen test can produce more false negatives. Live in Mason City, Alex Jurgens, KIMT News 3.
All right, thanks, Alex. If you are traveling within the U.S., an antigen test is sufficient. But if going out of country, Biggs says a PCR test is likely the safest bet, as many countries require a PCR-only test among crossing borders.